Hi everybody, I am Mustafa Samee. Our lecture today will be about instance diagram. The lecture prepared under the supervision of Dr. Amr Salim Al-Amir. We are talking about relationship cardinality as an additional constraint on a relationship. It tries to characterize the relationship more precisely by specifying how many entities of one set may relate with another entity in another set as a part of the relationship. So, primarily by cardinality, we are indicating how many entities in terms of one or more are related to entities from another set in forming a relationship. This is a very useful concept for binary relationship where two entity types or two entity sets are related. If you consider a relation named R between two entity sets A and B, then what are the possible cardinalities that we can indicate? The answer for this equation is, first, 1 to 1. One entity in A is associated with at most one entity in B. Second, one to many. In this, one entity in A may be associated with a zero or more number of entity in B. Third, many to one. It is the reverse of the above definition. The last one will be many to many. One entity in A may be associated with any number of entities in B and vice versa. Now I will explain the four types in examples. We have a teacher entity and we have a course entity. Between them, we have the teaches relationship. What is the cardinality of the teaches relationship? Here we are saying one to many. That is, one teacher may teach many courses. But if you go from course to teacher, then it would be for a given course there is one teacher. One to many indicate that a teacher may teach many courses, whereas the course is always taught by one teacher. The other example is the study relationship. The study relationship exists between student and course. What is cardinality of this binary relationship? A little thought will tell us that it is a many-to-many relationship. What it means is that one student may be studying many courses, and one course may be studied by many students. Existence dependency. Another important constraint. It means existence of entity A may depend on existence of another entity B. B is called dominant entity and A is called subordinate entity. A simple example would be the dependency between teacher and department. Teacher and department are two entities and they have a relationship between them, which we may call as employee. What it means is that teacher cannot exist without being associated with the some department. So teacher depends on department, and hence there is existence dependence between these two entities, where the teacher is the subordinate entity and the department is the main entity. Now we will show the diagramming notation symbols we will be using. Entity is represented by a rectangle, while the relationship is represented by a diamond. An attribute is written down in a small circle, which is connected either to an entity or to a relationship. Because attributes do not exist independently, they are associated with the entity or relationship, and the key attribute may be underlined. Also, the cardinality of the relationship is indicated by writing a number. Usually, we write 1 or many or n to indicate many. Double-line rectangle refer to weak entity, and double-line diamond is a relationship between weak entities. Double-line circle is a multi-valued attribute. In this example, we have three entities: course, book, publisher, and two relationships. If I go from book towards publisher, how many publisher am I likely to encounter? Usually, all books have one publisher. I would generally put 1 as a cardinality on the publisher side. And I will say if I go from book, I am likely to meet only one publisher. But if I go from publisher toward books, naturally the publisher publish many books. So I may put M here to indicate that there are more books published by a single publisher. Let us see this. We can first look at entities shown here and try to get a good idea of what they may represent in the real world. There is a student entity which has some well-known attributes: roll number, name, date of birth, and hostel number. We have the course relationship, which is defined by the course number, title, and credits associated. We have teacher entity, and we have department entity. This ternary relationship say that students study courses under teachers. A study relationship associate a teacher, a course, and a student, and it has attribute grade and the semester. This means a particular student may be studying a particular course under a particular teacher and a given semester, and he would get a particular grade. So, what would be the key of this relationship? The key of study would be roll number from student, course number from course, and employee number from teacher. In ternary relationship, we should be sure that the model reflects the real world correctly. Ternary relationships are harder to understand. Ternary relationship is not the same as two binary relationships. Now we will go to the next concept, the weak entities. It doesn't have primary key on its own. They are related to one or more strong entities. They either have a partial key, or we add one to distinguish between those which are related to same strong entity. An example for the weak entity is a branch of bank. Interviews between candidates and companies viewed as entities, so that they can participate further in relationship. ER diagram follow. Here is bank entity. It has bank name, and this could be the key, and it may have some other attributes. Similarly, we have another entity called customers. These are our normal entities, and they are strong entities. They have their own key. Let us assume that the customer name is unique. We need to introduce branch as an entity. A branch, as we said earlier, is a weak entity, so we show it by a double rectangle. and the fact that a branch is a weak entity and depends on bank, each shown by a double diamond connecting to strong entity and the weak entity. This branch has a relationship called has accounts. A customer has accounts with the branch. A branch may have many customers. A customer may have account with the many branch. The customer may have account in say 5 branches. In order to find out which banks these 5 branch belong to, we have to go actually by this relationship to show in the diagram. Thank you for your attention. Any question, please contact me on the email shown.